Hey folks, it's Smiley Pete and Andy Bell, Perfect Sip channel on YouTube.
Coming at you live from the basement!
In variety 121. Now, whiskey.
We have a great whiskey tasting. If you're very lucky enough to have actually bought tickets for tonight, you'll be tasting these whiskies, but we thought we should share it with the world, or the other at least 20 people that watch these videos. Thanks, Drew. What we're going to do is take you through the first part of tonight's tasting, which is an amazing idea. We are going to do White and Mackay, McKinley's, some really old cool stuff. So we're going to start at the beginning, which is the White Mackay 13-year-old, available at a really cool place in the basement called Variety 121, but also still available in many supermarkets as well. Now the White Mackay 13-year-old, there you go.
Soft.
Yep, it's a lovely production. It's mostly a mixture between 13 to 15-year-old single malts and single grains all brought together. But the 13-year-old part is the fact it actually spends 1 year mixed in a sherry cask, just to give it this lovely, soft, approachable. So, 70 CL, 40% alcohol.
It's just soft, it's fruity, it's elegant, it's just beautifully put together. A real kind of proper interesting whiskey.
A session dram with a real good characteristic to it. Floral fruit comes forward a bit more weight, but we're about to start our adventures in time and space. Because we're going back to the 1960s. We're going to a bottle that you can only really get hold of at auctions, the McKinley's VOB, Old Scotch Whisky. This was produced in the 60s, so this is the whisky that your grandparents were drinking, and also the whisky that Pete was drinking, because he was 12 then.
What does VOB stand for, Andy?
Very old blend. But you get your nose in there, it's something, it's old bottle smell. It smells like something that's been sitting around for 30, 40 years. It's still attractive, it's still flavoursome. That's one of the problems, and one of the joys of buying old bottles. And I highly recommend, if you get a chance to taste anything old, jump at it, because this is what they were drinking in the 1960s.
I don't remember.
You were drunk.
I was 12. Wait a minute, I wasn't 12 in the 1960s.
No, but fruit flavours comes across. I think Pete, last time we tried it, so I mentioned the green apple nature. It's very distinguished, very powerful. It's 70 degrees proof, which is the equivalent of 40% ABV, so the same as the White Mackay 13-year-old, but comes across as a richer, more dense whiskey rather than actually more refined.
Beautiful, really interesting. And then on the back of that,
woo, time travel with fingers. We have the Shackleton bottling, the 1907 replica of McKinley's. Now this was again put together by White Mackay. Pour us a glass, please, monsieur. So this is a great, lovely mix. Thank you. You've probably seen so many videos and you know the whole story of the Shackleton whiskey. I'm not going to bore you with that one. But this is the replica of what the McKinley's blend tasted like in 1907. Now the main constituent parts of that one that they worked out was Glenmore and Glenalbyn. The two Inverness distilleries that are actually no longer here. I think one is currently at Tesco. So one up for Tesco, one down for Tasty Whiskey. Now, why are we loving doing this? Literally it was 1983 when both Glenalbyn and Glenmore shut down, so it's the 30-year-old anniversary of the destruction, but at least there is some Glenmore in this glass. Lovely, I mean that is, I'm hugely impressed with this one.
beautiful.
Soft fruits, touch of herb, just attractive, addictive nose. That's one of those whiskies I love. The one that you don't want to drink, you just want to keep smelling and smelling and smelling. But don't snort. Don't snort whiskey, that's bad. Very, very bad.
I almost never snort whiskey.
So this is part one of two-part videos. The next one up will be Bruichladdich, because I don't talk about Bruichladdich enough. Cheers. To part two. That's what I'm talking about.